Yeah.
Hi, Laura. Can you tell me your name, full name, and what you do at SAS?
Yes. So my name is Laura Higgins. I'm a systems engineer with JUMP. So I'm a main technical resource for folks. And JUMP is a business unit of SAS Institute.
So do you work more technically with the R&D group or more on the sales group in interfacing with JUMP?
I'm a technical pre-sales, and so I work directly with customers. And my goals are to really help customers solve their problems. So I don't ever feel like I sell. I'm always helping people solve their daily problems, become more efficient, do things in a better way. And I happen to have this great tool. So I've actually been using JUMP for about 15 years at this point. So, my background is doing basic research in biology. So it was my tool of choice. So I'm very practically driven with JUMP. So I know if I can get people to use it, it will make them more efficient, more effective, and get everybody out of the office sooner.
What are the different platforms that your customers, if you were to break it down in percentages, for example, Windows versus Mac or other OSs that you have?
I would say the Mac use is definitely growing. Probably maybe 20% on a Mac, or probably less. And a lot of that has to do with large companies already have PCs in place for Windows platform, and so then it's harder. If I love a Mac and I want to use a Mac, and a big company that already gave me a PC, they don't want to duplicate that expense.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people run it on both. They'll run it personally on their Mac, but we definitely have lots of large consumers use it because it is a Mac product.
Originally it was, wasn't it?
That's right. So the unofficial story is John Saul is one of the co-founders of SAS and envisioned a way for applied people, so scientists and engineers that want to do data analysis, you need to visualize your data, right, and really create a good picture of it. Sorry, there's too much going on here. So you need to visualize your data, do some statistical analysis, and then go back to doing what you're doing without learning a whole programming language. And so more than 20 years ago, there was only one operating system that had great graphics. It had this weird thing called a mouse, so you could have point and click. So it was a Macintosh operating system. So that's what he first started developing this program on. And the unofficial name is John's Macintosh program, which you can't stick Macintosh in the middle of your name, but JMP is John's Macintosh program. So it's been a Mac product from the beginning. And there was no Windows at that point. So more than 20 years ago. So yeah, that's...
Since it's a more user-friendly graphical tool, who would you say the users are, and how are they different than SAS users who tend to go towards more like computer programmers, low coding versus like a graphical tool?
Most of our users are consumers of the actual data analysis that they're doing. So it's either I'm in charge of a process and I need to be looking at this data every day and understanding is my process in control or out of control. I'm in the lab and I'm running my own experiments. So I create my own experimental design. I analyze the data and I'm going to go back in the lab. So I think a lot of times there's SAS programming comes in for very important controlled environments like pharmacy and clinical trial analysis, where you need to have a really established protocol. So JUMP is a little more flexible. You can get the same kind of reporting going on with JUMP, but it definitely there is a difference in the end user. That people want to see their data, they want to touch it, they want to interact with it, and that's what JUMP is great for. So even people that run SAS like JUMP, because you can reach in there and play with your
change
data.
the code, yeah. Now I'm curious, from the SAS programmer's perspective, do all of the jump tools generate SAS code that you can submit in batch, or is it only some that do that?
Every single platform in Jump, you can, it's menu driven and you can just save it as a script. So it's and you can actually just copy and paste those scripts together. And so you can actually create a whole series of steps in basically a single button. And
that script is a Jump script, it's not a SAS script, is it?
That's right. And you can make them talk to each other. So you can use Enterprise Guide to package up things, but you can run stored processes from within Jump. You can actually submit some of the platforms directly to SAS. And then we also sell a couple of integrated specialized products, Jump Clinical and Jump Genomics, that are a combined Jump and SAS solution. Because you really need the SAS workhorse behind it to really go through enormous data sets and do large, complicated calculations. But you still want that nice visual interaction to understand the results, do your quality control analysis, and understand that complexity in a visual way.
You mentioned the integration with stored process and other. What are all the different integration technologies, such as Microsoft Office and others that Jump work with, and how you can interact with other tools? Yeah.
So Jump to get your data into Jump, you can definitely directly interact with SAS, so SAS libraries, SAS datasets. Jump is ODBC compliant, so any driver you have, you can definitely just connect directly out to your database, or open a file locally if you have those drivers. And for SAS, you can connect to the metadata server, and then that can also, if you're using the SAS, everything that SAS is good for, of integrating different data types, you can definitely connect out to that. For what's new in 9 is we actually have a plugin in Jump 9, and so you can actually highlight some data, use that plugin, and make a distribution, have it show up in Graph Builder, and you can even visualize a model you've built in Excel in the profiler in Jump. So that's a really fun tool, because you don't have to remake that model in Jump to take advantage of the visualization.
You said that it was called a plugin. Is that different than the SAS add-in, which is a Microsoft Office integration with SAS?
It is. It's the same idea, but since Jump is developed a little bit separately than SAS, it's not identical, but it's the same idea.
Okay.
And also in 9, it's also an interface to R, so you can do R calls in the R programming language from within Jump also.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's moving more towards being an analytical hub.
What are the different industries that you focus on? I know that you're based in the San Francisco Bay Area.
That's right.
So what are some of the users or clients that use Jump?
A lot of our users are semiconductor companies, so high-tech engineering all across the board. We actually have a lot of solar companies, but that technology kind of comes out of semiconductors. So if you make semiconductor chips, or you make things that semiconductor chips go into, or machines that make any of these products, you're probably some of those people that are using Jump. We have lots of biotech and pharma also.
Is it primarily used to control the quality as it is being manufactured, or is it the engineering in developing those technologies?
Both.
Okay.
I would say it's probably a little more heavily used. Well, no, I see both. So process control, but it is also for engineering, because you can visualize such large amounts of data. But it's, we have everyone from bankers and HR, shipping, so I cover all verticals, so I just have to think of the right data sets to show people how Jump can work for them.
What is the paper that you're presenting at this WUSS conference?
So I'm actually presenting for Jeff Perkinson. So it's his idea that I'm going to show the SAS architecture from a Jump perspective. And so I'll cover some of these things like the metadata server and stored processes. And then I like to show off Jump, so I'll be showing Jump.
So Jump, like the client and the server and the SAS is on the metadata server and the BI server in this case.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm probably going to show things like mapping in 9 and some of the oohs and ahs.
Great.
That's what's fun to show.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep.